Yes, hi there. These comments are for, I'm just going to use the first letter of your username, N, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at Stealth, the TOEFL online course, a 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you've made a comment, not a comment, but you completed my independent, it looks like, speaking practice test number 7 over at my VoxyPop discussion group for my online TOEFL course. So what I want to do in this particular video is I want to listen to your practice test and give you some comments, give you a score, and recommend some lessons that can help you continue to improve your speaking. And remember, Happy New Year! You posted your practice test yesterday, and today, believe it or not, is January 1st, 2014. All right, let's take a look at what you said.
If I have to choose between the two forms of exercise, I would choose running, which is cheaper and safer. Running is better. It is cheaper for me. If I run, I will buy some shirt and sneakers, then it will cost me a little more than $100. However, if I buy a bike, it will cost me over $100,000. And the second reason I prefer running over bicycling is because it's safer. In my hometown, streets are narrow, and many people walk on sidewalks, which will force me to share my bike with traffic. I may be hurt if I ride my bike too much. So, for these reasons, I prefer running than bike.
Okay, you're in pretty good shape here. I think overall you have a organization, a strong organization. You talked about how the running is cheaper and safer. And you also you developed those support points in the body of this speech, right? So let's listen to it one more time, and I'll give you some comments as we go.
If I have to choose between the two forms of exercise, I would choose running, which is cheaper and safer.
Okay, there. So I think you're in pretty good shape there. You said you would choose running, which is cheaper and safer. Now, I would probably, instead of which is, I would use because there to show the cause-effect relationship. You can use which, there's no problem, the grammar is there, grammar is correct, but because has a little bit better kind of relationship there. That would be my first opinion.
Running is better. It is cheaper.
Now here, running is better, it is cheaper. Now, I wouldn't say running is, it is. Those are two short, simple sentences. You might say running is better because it's cheaper. Right? So try to be careful about using short, simple sentences in your speaking or your writing. That doesn't really demonstrate more advanced grammar.
If I run, I will buy some shirt and sneakers, then it will cost me a little.
Let's go back to what you just said there. Hold on a minute.
More than $100. However, if I buy a bike, it will cost me over $100,000. And the second reason I prefer running over bicycling is because it's...
There, that's a good sentence there. I like that. That's a good transition there. The second reason why I prefer running over bicycling is because. So there, you're now adding to a previous idea, so you have a pretty good connection.
In my hometown, the streets are narrow, and many people walk on sidewalks, which will force me to share my bike with.
I can't remember if you said which will or which would. You can probably use either one. You can say which will force me to, so I guess that's okay.
I may be hurt if I ride my bike too much. So
you may be what? I'm not exactly sure what you said in that last part of it. Let me listen to this one more time. Hold on. Let me go back to the middle of your speech.
If I have to...
We go in the middle here.
However, if I buy a bike, it will cost me over $100,000. And the second reason I prefer running over bicycling is because it's safer. In my hometown, the streets are narrow,
Think something with the stress there. In my hometown, I would put stress more on the first word there. Sometimes when you have compound words like a compound noun, in my hometown, put more stress on that first noun.
And many people walk on sidewalks, which will force me to share my bike with traffic.
I would say many people walk on sidewalks, which will force me to
be hurt if I ride my bike too much.
So you might say which I will be hurt. I think that's what you said. The pronunciation, hurt.
So for these reasons, I prefer running than bike.
I would say there I prefer running over bicycling. That would be the best way to do that, not I prefer running then. If you say then you have to say more, right? So I prefer running more than bicycling would be correct, or I prefer running over bicycling. All right, so let's see what we have here. I'm going to take a look at the rubrics here. So to get the perfect score, in terms of language use, you have effective grammar, vocabulary with natural sounding expressions, good control of basic and complex grammar. I'm going to see you have some errors in there, so I don't think you'll get a perfect score on this particular speaking task. Let's take a look at the 3 to 3.83 range. Your response demonstrates imprecise, incorrect use of vocabulary or grammar structures. You're limited in the range of structures you use. So I'm going to say yes. I think this is a fairly good speech, but I don't think you'll get a high in the high 3 area here. I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. So as I pointed out in the speech, you did have some language issues. In terms of your pronunciation, I'd like to see you make some improvements with your tone, intonation. So I think that's an important one. You're speaking more with I think bicycling is better than running because it is cheaper and it's safer. So you want to work on varying that tone more. So I think that you can benefit if you go to in the grammar lessons relating to language use, check out, I think it's the grammar lesson number 1. That helps you a little bit more with what's called sentence varieties, so you can use a little bit more what we call advanced type grammar in your speaking. With pronunciation, take a look maybe, I think sentence rhythm, you might want to write these down. You can find all these lessons in the second section of my course. Sentence rhythm, actually word stress, sentence rhythm, and tone. I think those 3 areas you definitely can make improvements in. Alrighty, so going back to your response, thank you for posting the practice test. And anyway, all the best to your high scoring speaking success, and also have a happy new year for 2014.